Can you start your first business in just 7 days? On 19th July 2024, that was the question I was asking myself. Why? Because they say that unless you are making money while you're sleeping, you will never be wealthy. And the basic idea it says is basically your business, your main income source should be scalable without any extra effort. Now, I don't know how true that statement is, but here's the thing. A 160k YouTube channel pays well, but I do not want to be reliant on brands and sponsor for the majority of my livelihood. And that is why last year I started my content agency where I help people with ideation, strategizing, shooting, editing, and everything they can think about content. But it is just another thing on my plate because it requires effort. Although technically it is a business, I do not consider it one because I never wanted to build it. It just built itself around me, and something happened. But the problem is it's a lot of hassle, it's a lot of headache that I do not really want to take. And at this point of time, if I just want to go with YouTube and the content agency, the dream of buying a BMW one day might just remain a dream forever. And on 19th July 2024, I was getting frustrated with all these different thoughts when I realized that the real wealthy people of the earth, they are not making content, they are not running agencies. The actual wealthy people of the earth, they are businessmen doing business. And I took on the task of building and launching a business over the next 7 days. And in today's video, we're going to relive that whole story. And I'm also going to tell you how much money I've made from this business so far. And that set the roadmap for the next 7 days of my life, because I will tell you how I built a business from scratch, marketed it, and also launched it within just 7 days. And I'll also tell you how much money I made so far from this business. But before that, I need some coffee, bro. I need some kind of coffee. It's already 9 a.m. I woke up at like 7:30. I need some coffee. I haven't eaten anything yet. Fuck. We'll go get some coffee. Can I do like 2 spins? Shit, I can. Can I do like 2 spins? Shit. Can I do like 3? I probably cannot. Nope, bad idea. Whew. This feels good. Now with the coffee out of the way, let's get back to business. For anyone who doesn't know what a business is, the basic concept is you sell stuff to people who can pay. Now it can be selling a service, a product, or anything else that can be paid for by people. Now, the first thing that you need to worry about is what is the stuff that you're selling? What is the product or what is the service? My content agency is a service-based business, but as I said, why I do not really consider it to be a business that I built by myself. And I have also done the product business before. It is not really a business, but I have sold merchandise on this platform before. I have sold quite a few merchandise. But that is a physical product business, because this time I really wanted to go digital with my products. Why? Because physical products require manufacturing, they require storing, they require delivering. While all of these 3 things are like seamless, takes 0 effort, and everything is stored on the internet. And because everything is stored on the internet, I do not need a storage, I do not need to deliver it to people. And yes, I do still need to manufacture, do still need to create the product, but it's a one-time thing. Once I create the product, I can sell infinite copies of it, technically. Now, the biggest question still remains, what is a digital product that I can sell? The story of this digital product actually goes back not 7 days, but 5 years. When I first went to IIT Hyderabad, I was this really naive kid, but I knew I really needed to be disciplined because I did not want the degree to be only thing in my hand when I'm walking out of college. I wanted to make so much more out of my college life, and I knew I need to be like sort of locked into my life. And that is when I came across Notion. And you can probably tell that I used to be a very huge productivity nerd back then. Pomodoro method, flashcards, this, that. I have tried everything. I used to watch channels like Matt D'Avella, Thomas Frank, Nathaniel Drew. They were talking about living a good life and being more productive. At that point of time, And Thomas Frank actually introduced me to a magical software called Notion. This video is not at all sponsored by Notion. It is just so good of a software. It has made such a good impact on my life. I want to mention it in my videos so it can change your lives as well. And that, my friend, was the plan. I have made numerous Notion templates from very beginner noob ones to very advanced complex on the back end but very functional on the front end Notion templates over the period of 5 years that I've been using Notion. And bro, I thought, okay, Notion templates are not really easy to make for beginners who are getting started with Notion. So why not I give them my Notion templates and they would pay me money for that. That sounded like a good idea, right? Business. I really need my swag glasses for this. इंसान होने के नाते खुद को डाउट करना थोड़ा तो बनता है. Even after using Notion for 5 years and trying to learn everything from everywhere, I still doubted my capability कि यार मुझे सब कुछ नहीं आता Notion के बारे में. I maybe should not make this product and maybe I'm not the best person to make this product. And instead of quitting the whole idea, I put up this story on Instagram asking for people who would want to collaborate on a project, which is sort of an experiment because I did not know if it will be successful, if it will make any money out of it. But yeah, I did not also want to spoil what was going on. So I put up this really vague ass story and a lot of people replied to my surprise, and one of them was Sambhav.
So basically it started with Sankho putting an Instagram story that he needs someone to build a project with. And without even knowing what the project was about, I right away applied to it. And surprisingly, I got selected for it. And Sankho texted me and then we hopped on a call and then he asked me that if I'm having some free time and if I'm ready to learn Notion. And being a Notion user and a Notion lover, this was the perfect opportunity for me to learn something new that I loved. And also it was a great opportunity to work with Sankho. And then he briefed me about the idea of creating ultra functional Notion templates that can make others' lives better. And I just told one thing that yes, I am in for the project. And on a similar day, I sat down and chopped down the basics of Notion. And then on the next day, we hopped on a meet and discussed the whole plan at how our week was going to be looking like. And right away, we started working on the templates. On day 2, 3 and 4, we were woke till 2 a.m. in the midnight working on the templates. And on day 5, as the deadline approached, and we were so much into it that we literally worked till 5 a.m. in the morning. And guess what? We completed the protagonist blueprint template.
So I talked with Sambhav and he seemed really on board because the person I was looking for, because I could not really expect someone to already be good at Notion. I was looking for someone who will be eager to learn, who is a quick learner, so I could provide him or her resources and they could learn really quickly. And Sambhav actually struck the perfect chord and he was already in the team. He was ready to take the risk of devoting like 7 full days of his life and see what happens. It might be a good decision, it might be a complete waste of time, but he was on board with taking the risk. Now on day 2 of our business venture, the plan was very simple. First, we needed to brainstorm what Notion templates we are going to make, what all will be inside it and how we are going to create it, and who the target audience for each particular template will be. Which templates will be free, which will be paid, and how will we market all of them. The whole game plan needs to be ready by the end of day 2. So Sambhav and me sat on a Google Meet for like 3-4 hours and figured all of these things out, and we made a very simple plan. On day 2, 3, 4 and 5, we are going to take my already very functional Notion templates and we're going to revamp them and make them much more general purpose so everyone can use them and not just me. On day 6, we are going to focus on marketing and branding. We're going to write the product details, we're going to make the thumbnails, make the PDFs and flyers, going to write emails and all of that things. And on day 7 will be our launch day. That is when our particular YouTube video is going to go live and we are going to launch this whole campaign. Or the whole business, to be honest. Business! You see, one of the very important aspects of branding is that it should be easily rememberable. Because people should not easily forget where they got it from, because it's part of the branding. That is where branding and marketing is different. And the only viable solution that was in front of me to all of these problems is to build a whole website to have my own domain name, so they would not be going to this/that/that, they would just be going to something.com. Now what could be the name of the website? It is not as easy as just coming up with a name. You also have to look for if the domain is already not taken by someone else. So I had to look for some peculiar, something catchy, but something's not very common, so the domain name is already not sold. It sounds really cool to me, and it really stands true to the personal brand, the persona that I am on the internet. That is being the protagonist of your life, being the main character and living like the main character of your life. And that was it. I was completely sold on this domain name. Now the only thing that remains is actually making the website, and I'm going to use Hostinger in addition with WordPress to make my own website, because as I said, I did not want to put in money to hire a designer or to hire a web developer for this project. I only want to invest money that is generated by this business back into the business, not my own money. That is my way of playing it very risk-free in this terms of business. Business. And contrary to the story, I'm actually making the website while I'm making this video. Like, this part actually is happening way after the 7 days that I'm talking about, but I want to put it in so the story seems more cohesive. Anyways, with that out of the way, there are main two problems with the making of the website. One is that I want to make the website on Hostinger because I figured out they have a connection with WordPress where you can make WordPress website and host it on Hostinger. But I bought the domain name that I want on Namecheap. I have to figure out how do I transfer the domain from Namecheap to Hostinger. And the second thing is I've never used WordPress before. So it's a completely new start. I'll have to see what I can do with WordPress and Hostinger. And I don't really want to give much time into this. I really want to be done in the next 3 to 4 hours. So let's focus on the first step in hand right now. Transferring the domain from Namecheap to Hostinger. Yes, this is the one we need, Namecheap to Hostinger. Alright guys, so we have encountered a problem. जो transfer process था that is making sense from Namecheap to Hostinger, but the problem is the domain needs to be bought at least 60 days before. Domain I bought has been less than a month, I guess, so I cannot really transfer the domain as of now. I think the only possible solution I see is to buy a similar domain on Hostinger and later transfer it to Hostinger. And anyway, buying domains on Hostinger is very simple, so I'll just go ahead and do that right now. Alright, here we are on the Hostinger website. I will just click on start now, and I would personally like to take the premium plan because it has a lot more benefits. I will just go with this, choose plan. Then it will take me to how many days I want the offer for. Now this is a no-brainer because I'm getting it at like 150 rupees per month with 3 months free and also a free domain for the first year. Beautiful. Now I'm going to complete the payment and see you on the other side. As you can see, I already have astonproductions.com, which is a creative agency that I want to build in the future. But yeah, with all that apart, I want to create a new website and I want it to be built with WordPress. I'm a little bit scared of WordPress because I don't really want to waste much time. Business or a service. I think I can just take a pre-built website as of now, and then later I could change it a little bit. Protagonist HQ. Installing WordPress. Okay, it is actually going into WordPress. I am nervous. I think I understand most of it. The about page, the contact page is okay. Home page is of course there. Privacy policy, services. I don't think we need services. Got it. This is starting to make sense. I sort of understand where it's going. I'm like 1.5 hours into this, and I think I finally figured out how to make things look good and make the product catalog, and I hope it looks as it's looking right here, because otherwise it was going okay. Yeah, it is. These things are still getting skewed a little bit. I'll have to figure that out. I'll have to. Just like that, I think it took me like 2 hours to make that whole website, and it is already up and running. Protagonistshq.com. You can check it out, and That is the beauty of Hostinger. I literally bought the domain like 2 hours back and the website is already running, and majority of the 2 hours, I think like 1 hour 55 minutes of those 2 hours went into me figuring out WordPress, because it is a little bit complex and I need to figure out how the rows and columns and boxes and containers and everything works. And Hostinger is also the sponsor of today's video. So if you want a portfolio website for your shop or your business, the first thing that you should be looking into is Hostinger. And you can check the first link in the description to try out Hostinger right now. It was finally day 6 and the agenda on our list was marketing and branding. The templates were perfectly ready, but we still need to give them good names, we still need to give them good color schemes, we still need to write good product descriptions, make good thumbnails, and basically package them really well. Packaging is really important. It's almost as important as the product, because it's something like the thumbnail of a YouTube video and the YouTube video. The thumbnail is not good, it doesn't matter how good the YouTube video is, nobody is going to watch it. That is why packaging, and in this case designing and copywriting, is very important. Now ideally, if this was a very serious experiment, I would have hired a copywriter to write the copies, I would have hired a designer to make the designs. But as I said, this was a very light-hearted experiment, something that I really wanted to try out. I did not want to put my own money into it. And that is when I thought that, okay, I have some experience writing Instagram captions and YouTube descriptions and YouTube scripts. So I can probably write some scrappy copy. It wouldn't be very good, but it wouldn't be very bad either. It same goes for design. I do have some basic design knowledge. So I thought, why not design the flyers and the thumbnails and everything by myself only? And that is exactly what I did. I opened up Photoshop and designed everything by myself, and they finally at the end look something like this. Like you look at it and you say, it's decent, it's not that bad. And if this business actually does well, we make some money, I'm going to take some of that money and reinvest into the business by hiring a copywriter and a designer and revamping everything. But that is a headache for future Sankho. The current Sankho is actually feeling a little bit anxious at the end of day 6. Because I started it as a small experiment, I did not do a mega launch or something. I just mildly promoted it on YouTube and on Instagram, along with a 1 hour beginner masterclass of Notion. In case someone wants to learn the Notion software from very scratch, there is a beginner masterclass which spans 1 hour. I shot the whole thing, I edited the whole thing, I uploaded it onto nas.io. And by the way, if you want to watch it, it's in the description. We really did not know what to expect. Like me and Sambhav, we sat on the meet that day and we were silent for so long that we really did not know what to expect. After the launch, no matter how good I've done everything, I was still scared that nobody is going to buy it at the end and we are going to make 0 sales. This will be a whole flop idea, a whole waste of time. That is when I also come up with an idea. Okay, let's do this. Let's make people buy it by adding a free merchandise. One of these merchandises that I have made before. Let's add a free merchandise to the first 50 people who buy the big template. And even after that, I was scared that nobody's going to buy it. But yeah, to our surprise, it was like really surprising to me and Sambhav both that we got through those 50 sales in the first 30 hours. And that was like, we were like, fuck, bro. What? Did we just do some business? So at the end of day 9, we were already sitting at like 50k revenue of this small little experimental business that we're going to do. And right now, till today, I have taken a small social media break. I have not really promoted it anywhere else. I think I put up one Instagram story at some point or the other, but I have not promoted it over the last month. And I think currently I am sitting at somewhere around 92 to 93k revenue without any marketing. So I think this can be little viable. This can be something I could try to scale, and I really want to scale it. Even if I don't make a lot of money out of this, I really want to scale it because this was my first taste of building a business. The first taste of thinking about branding, thinking about marketing, thinking about customer handling and all of those things. And bro, it's really exhilarating. It's amazing. These kind of tensions, this kind of stresses, this kind of planning, brainstorming, coming up with new ideas and executing them into the real world and waiting for people to react. That is beautiful in a way. That is really beautiful. And I understand how people really get hooked on building businesses. And I really want to scale this because there are different things like influencer marketing, email marketing, cold emailing, and there are different aspects of business. There are different aspects of marketing that I really, really want to try out. And the only way to try it out is to scale this business, make it bigger. So that will definitely happen from now on. And if you are a student who want to get better grades, if you are a content creator who want to make better content while not completely disrupting everything else in your life, I have some amazingly functional Notion templates that will make your life way easier and while also making you much more productive. If you want to see those templates and try them out for yourself, you can click the first link in the description. I love the name, I love the vibe, I love the business, but more than the business, I love the name. I love the but like honestly, more than the money that I'm making, I really want to scale the business and have the experience of scaling the business and building it much bigger, getting to more people, because it's very fun. It's amazingly fun. And for some God forbid reason, I don't know how it is possible that you're on this channel and you do not know Notion, but for some God forbid reason, if you do not already know what Notion is and how it can change your life, this is a video where I talk about how exactly I use Notion on a daily basis to leave my brain free of clutter and actually get the things done.